Now let's pivot back to the senator, Shelley Moore Capito.
Yes.
It's interesting because, we're waiting to see if the president has a response to what we're hearing, because almost every Democratic leader continues to call him out by name. And they're basically saying that he needs to pull ICE agents out. In the meantime, what we're watching is chaos erupting, really not by ICE, by these demonstrators who are not refusing to leave and putting up barricades and shouting and throwing objects. And we're watching it live on our screen, and things continue to deteriorate on the ground, partly because of these protesters.
Right. I mean, I think this is the time for the leadership of the state and the city and the county to pull together, and for the citizens of the county to listen to their own leadership. You heard the police chief ask people to leave the situation. Don't go close to the situation. It's very, very dangerous. They've got to get control, and we need, federal assistance here. I think that you heard that I think the police chief said that he had talked with Homeland Security, but I think they've let it get so out of control that the federal agents may be in greater danger than local police, and I think that's a calculation that has to be made. But at the beginning here, what we need to do is de-escalate this situation, get people to leave the area, find out what happened, how it happened. You hear reports that the person was armed. Was he armed? Was he using a weapon? Let's get all of this out. It just moves so fast on the internet, and then people draw their own conclusions and becomes politicized.
The White House is telling us the president has been briefed on this shooting in Minnesota. The president, in the last week or so, brought up the Insurrection Act, and also, brought up possibly sending in troops, sending in the National Guard. We just heard from local officials there. The National Guard is aware of what's going on. They're not bringing them in as of right now. Do you think the president should send in National Guard troops?
I think the president should do whatever he can to help de-escalate the situation. If that means bringing in the National Guard, then that's what we should do. I mean, I think will that escalate the situation? And I think that's a calculation that the president with local authorities are going to have to make. It's just really difficult to watch the deterioration of and the allowing of all of this violence to go on, the crowds to build. It's out of control. So we need the president to heed the warnings here and help de-escalate this situation as much as he can. If that means bringing in the National Guard, then I'm fully supportive of that.
Our chat program is reporting that a senior Democratic congressional source is telling him at this hour that this ICE shooting, and we're watching right now together, is, quote, a new wild card that can make it challenging to pass government funding. We know that deadline is Friday, Senator. We know that you're on appropriations. You know how important it is to pass this funding, because not only does it cover DHS, it covers FEMA. And there is a big winter storm hitting 40 states right now. And that money is very critical for so many Americans that are watching this broadcast right now. This money is on the line, and Democrats are out there, including Tim Kaine, Chris Murphy, that are going to try to block it over what is going on in Minneapolis. Is this going to make it tough to pass?
Well, I think that defeats the whole, well, I think we'll pass it. I think it defeats the whole purpose. It shows the politicization that they're willing to take for our own homeland security. We are having a storm. We need FEMA at the ready and fully funded. We also need our Coast Guard, our TSA, all of the Secret Service, all of the other things contained within Homeland Security, absolutely critical to not just the safety of what we're seeing with a snowstorm or a weather event, but what's happening up there. We need all of our hands on deck here, and so I think they're willing to politicize this. I'm not.
Well, let me ask you about that. I mean, the words, it's a new wild card. I mean, that sounds awfully political to me.
Right. I mean, it's obvious. I mean, look who's doing the complaining. I mean, the senators that you named are ardent opponents of the president, possible, presidential candidates. I mean, can we just sit down and figure this out? Well, we need our homeland security. We need to be able to support the mechanisms that keep this country safe and also safe from disaster. So I think it would be very short-sighted and absolutely, totally political on anyone's part.
Okay. We will see what the president has to say whenever he is ready to make a comment on what we're watching here.
Hey, it's Will Kane. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Kane podcast for full episodes right now.